I see what you're saying, and it's like you've compressed so much in so little time. So like you've given me sales and marketing and offers in just a couple of minutes. I really appreciate that insight, especially like the IP angle, and which I hadn't thought. It's just trickled in my mind before, but I've never paid attention because I'm like, if I went around, there are so many opportunities out there. You've opened my mind in that frame. I really appreciate that. But
Absolutely.
so that's thanks for expanding my mentality around that, thinking that I can only earn so much. So I really appreciate you shifting my mindset on that. You had hinted on assets, but before we go to assets, there's something I really want you to clarify here, because I thought it was really so cool. I saw it on your website, and it's about the full movement. And then afterwards, I want us to go into assets. So I was reading it, I was like fascinated. It said to be full is to hunt for the best of life in all areas, despite the threat of fear, doubt, lack of resources, or haters. Full lifers are authentic with themselves and understand their purpose in life. They live their best every year. A full lifer is a no excuse, no stone left unturned, no nonsense time maximizer, who is relentless in their pursuit of freedom through money, traveling, experiences, and happiness. Fulfillers build their life, create their future, master their time, inspire their world. I am a full lifer now. Tell me more about it. It's like there's so much loaded into that. Tell me more about that before we switch.
First of all, I love the way that you read that. It's very powerful. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. No, it was inspiring. I was like, so cool. This is so cool. So
that's great. And
I didn't want to. I was like, if once you go into assets rabbit hole, I might forget this. I was like, let me bring it now. So it was very catchy. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the key words there are there are a couple of keywords there. Obviously, time maximizer, which has been a big theme for me. There are 3 definitions of full, just to take it away from that verb there. And I love that verb because it's what it is. It's a mission statement, right? There's a word. It's a specific word.
It's not a mantra. It's I know what you're talking about. It's those things they keep. It's like an incantation of sorts.
Exactly.
So like a manifesto. Is it a manifesto?
That's the word. I think it's actually up there. Yeah. Manifesto. Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually. I think that's actually the word on the website. Yes, it's the manifesto for the full movement, right? So the definition of full is where that entire manifesto is based in, and you can hear the definitions in the manifesto. It's not explicit, but you'll hear it in there. And the first definition, of course, is that we are multi-dimensional creatures, which is why if you just live for money, then you are missing out on so much. If you are just living for your kids, you are missing out on so much. We are mental creatures. We are emotional, financial, physical, right? We are spiritual people. And there's so many different aspects to us that we have to pay attention to. Now, regardless of what your religion is, it doesn't matter. We are spiritual people. Right?
Yeah.
And so all of the aspects of your life, you have to pay attention to them. The second is that every year you are required to do more than last year. It is one of the saddest things, I think, to be 60 and the best time in your life was when you were 21. That's very, very sad, because then what happened in between all of those years? I would want to be 78 and 77 was the best year. Just imagine. That would be amazing. And I want to be able to say that. And there are people who live like that. And I think it's just a much better way to live, because your entire life becomes this fulfilling journey. Doesn't matter how long you live for, it's just continuously getting better in different ways. And the third definition is that not only are you required to be better, but you are required to live better in all of the dimensions of your life. So you are supposed to be going and earning more money, but not only get fitter. Right? Become more emotionally stable, become more patient, more kind, more connected to nature, right? Whatever your spiritual journey is, go deeper into that realm. All of these areas of your life, explore them. Don't just do one thing, because what ends up happening is that I know a lot of people who are very fit have no money, right? Have all the money, they can't move, right?
Yeah.
Right? Have all the money, fit, walking red flag.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do
Yeah.
those things, right? You have to be someone who is well-rounded and understands that life is meant to be full and fulfilling.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that's it.
Thank you. And that's why when I was opening up this conversation, I said you're a multidimensional being. That's what struck me about you right away. Because there are those because when I was looking at your website and when I see someone into travel, money, music, I'm like, wow, this is so cool. It's an expanded view. So you're living a richer and fuller life. I really appreciate that. And that's something that people like me can learn a lot from you. It's like you're here in Uganda. We have a saying that you're eating life.
Yes, very good. I love that.
Eating life. I like that. So tell me about now the assets. How do we go about where do I find these assets? What are these assets? Where would you recommend someone to start from? Of course, I don't know size fits all, but at least I'm sure there must be some generic. There are some core principles one needs to look at. So around building assets, so they can generate this wealth, the money and the experience. And by the way, the reason I asked you about the full life, for me, I believe that's the core of wealth. Wealth, I believe, indeed, isn't just about money. It's the full experience, the full multi-dimensional experience. So that's why I was very keen also to ask you about that. But now back to assets. Talk to us about the assets. Tell me more about assets.
I'm going to bring my water close because I'm going to have some water in a second. But what
Please.
I will say, so the first thing is I will give you the assumption, we're going to operate under the assumption that most people do not want to be billionaires. They don't want to work that hard. Most people, and I'm going to say this with, again, maybe if you're 16 and you're watching this, you maybe don't think this yet, but to be a billionaire is extremely hard. And it's going to take 2 decades of your life. And you're going to probably miss a couple of kids' birthdays. It's extremely hard. And so if that's your goal, just understand that this is not for you. I don't want to be a billionaire. In fact, even 100 million, right? I think you can do 100 million without skipping too much, but I think anything after maybe 15, 25 million, life is pretty much the same. And you don't need to do a lot extra to get to 25 million. And I'm going to explain how. Okay. Cool. So with that said, the ideal of assets is that it's a system. Now, if you go to the extreme of this, Amazon is a system. It's a series of systems. They have a shipping system. They have an e-marketing system. I'm sure if you've ever had something in your cart and you don't buy it, they will say, hey, do you want this item? It's a checkout system. It's a payment system. It's all just a series of systems. That's all it is. Now, going back to the most minute example, which is why I love starting from, which is very basic, and it's vending machines, because anybody can do this in the world. Vending machines. So,
interesting.
And so it's anything between those two, right? So you have the extreme Amazon and you have vending machines. Vending machines are a very simple example of what an asset is. Difference between an asset and a liability is that an asset pays you money and a liability takes money from you. So if you have a vending machine, here's how it works, right? You have a vending machine, you buy one for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, cool, no problem. Now the vending machine, if you are taking care of one that pays you $500 per month in a high traffic location, then how many vending machines would you need to do two things? One, hire somebody so that you don't have to do it yourself. And two, replace your full-time income right now. And as soon as you can figure that out, you'll realize the power of vending machines. And whatever that number is, double it, and you'll never have to work again. It's really that simple.
Wow. What else? Tell me more. Vending machine. What else?
Okay, so then, of course, so vending machines are a very simple example, which is a global model that you can use anywhere in the world. You have storage facilities. You have cars. You can rent cars, buy cars, rent cars, right? If you have a certain number of cars, they're making this amount of money, you can rent cars, no problem. That also works anywhere in the world, right? You have storage facilities, right? You have bikes. You can buy bikes, rent them, right? To people. So another example. Again, this is just systems. Storage facilities already said that you have Airbnbs. You can do the same thing. right? Set up Airbnbs. Real estate, the oldest model in the world, set up Airbnbs. If you have one Airbnb paying you 1,000, how many do you need? Keep going until you have enough, right?
Right.
What other examples do you have? There's so many. And if you want to take it digital, YouTube channels, right? Now, today, here's one of the things I love about YouTube channels, and you even have online stores too. But let's talk about YouTube channels for a second.
Yeah.
A YouTube channel is started every couple of seconds. A new YouTube channel. And today it is the new TV. Now, what most people have in their head when I talk about starting a YouTube channel is that they need to show their face, they need to get in front of a camera, they need to be funny. Not true. If you go right now, one of my favorite examples to show this is alux.com. ALUX,
A
ALUX,
U X.
ALUX,
Okay.
ALUX, right? They are a YouTube channel. They have over 4 million subscribers. Now, the
Okay.
wonderful thing about this channel, it's one of my favorite examples, and they release a video every day. What you will notice about this channel is that it's really just animation and B-roll footage and somebody's voice. Now, what's key about this information is that the owner of the channel is not the voice that you're hearing. They hired someone to do the voice. Now, they're not on camera, so they can hire someone to do the editing. And they can also hire someone to write for the channel. That's 3 people that you need for this model. Now, think of how many YouTube channels you know where you are watching the screen and all you are listening to is somebody's voice. Now, imagine that the owner of that channel is not the person that you're listening to. Now, if that's not the person that you're listening to, how many channels can that person own?
Hundreds.
15?
If they, yeah. They can
100?
own. They can own dozens or even hundreds if they have the scaling abilities and skill set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. So then you can do the same thing on YouTube. And you can do the same thing with, so if you have a restaurant, right? The same thing. Instead
Mm.
of having more from one restaurant, if one restaurant is bringing you $1,000 with a simple menu, okay, open a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth. How many restaurants do you need? The biggest restaurants in the world, their menu items are less than 10. They will
The
go
biggest
ahead.
restaurant.
The
Come
biggest
again?
restaurants in the world, this is a very, very, very important point if you're getting into the restaurant
Yeah.
business. The
Yeah.
biggest restaurants in the world, their menu items is less than 10.
Wow. Wow.
You only need 10 things. Think about McDonald's, right? Think about Burger King. It's only 10 items. You have
Yes.
burger, you have buns, and you're just mass producing these things, right? It's not that complicated. But what small restaurant owners want to do is that they want to do curry chicken and fried chicken, but there's no global restaurant in the world that does rice and peas and chicken. There's none because it's too hard to scale. Instead, you have wings. Global restaurant, no problem. Sandwich, Subway, no problem. Very simple system. Subway is only those 10 toppings. That's it. And you just mass produce those. And it becomes so simple that anybody can make that Subway sandwich. The same thing with all of the systems I mentioned. Anybody can edit a video that knows how to edit, right? You can replace all of the items in the system. Anybody can be trained to do a vending machine line. Hey, here's how you fix it. Here is how you replace. Here's how you open. No problem. Anybody can clean an Airbnb. Here's how you clean. Here's what you need to do. Anybody can rent cars. Here's how you do. Here's how you pick up the keys. Here's how you drop off. Here's how you clean, etc. And so then once you have these systems in place, you can just scale 2, 3, 10, 30, 40, 50. And of course, you have real estate, one of the easiest examples of this. You get one property, you keep scaling, which is what I've been able to do.